There's literally what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19. 19 squares and 5 large rectangles. Whoa.
That's a lot.
Hey, bud.
Yep.
Is that a victory cigarette?
Yep.
You proud of yourself for screeding that?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, dude.
So a joke was screeding stone 8 feet.
No way.
My arms are tired.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the people who watched the excavation and backfill video. We're on to screeding and laying our pavers in this one. If you haven't seen the excavation and backfill video, check out the link in the description below and you can see how we got to where we are. But here we are on top of our base stone trying to level off our screed rails. When I say screed rails, I'm talking about these pipes. They're 10-foot long galvanized gas pipe that you can buy from Home Depot, and they're 1-inch interior diameter. They're about 1 3/8 or so exterior diameter. So I use those pipes to get my chip stone to the correct height and slope that I need it to be so I can lay my pavers on top of that. Chipstone is the bedding material I use to lay my pavers on. The particular chipstone I'm using in this video is 1/4 inch clean crushed stone, but I also have a lot of videos and projects where I've used 3/8 inch clean crushed stone, and both of them are very good for a hybrid system like this with the 3/4 inch clean crushed stone for our base material. That chipstone is really good for allowing water to travel through it freely and preventing shifting and sinking due to heavy rain or freezing in the winter months. So our base stone is raked and compacted to the correct grade, and some of the areas are within 1/4 to 1/2 inch low. So we end up using this chipstone underneath the pipes when that happens to lift it up to where we want it to be, and then we set the pipes down into the chipstone with our hammer. So let me show you real quick our grade. We're starting off up here pretty level. We're gonna slowly pitch it that way as well, so that we'll have water running off in 2 ways, towards over there and then also towards over there. But up at the top here we're gonna stay level, and then as we go down we want to go slightly more than 1/8 of a slope, but a little less than 1/4. Then once we get down to over here, we start slightly sloping towards the right as well. And now we are at our 1/8 of a slope. So when the bubble just touches the line on your level, either side, it's called a 1/8 pitch, meaning it slopes 1/8 of an inch per foot or 1 inch per 8 feet. So this is going to be the highest corner in the area. And it's going to all slope that way, that way. I was putting about 1/2 inch of stone underneath all these pipes to level them off, and that's just the easiest way in my opinion. If you get this 3/4 too high, or you're trying to get too close, it can mess you up because now the 3/4 is starting to impose into your chipstone, and when you screed you start pulling up 3/4, and that can really slow you down. So getting the base close, lifting the pipes up about 1/2 inch just to be able to set everything in. Sometimes you're good enough to where you can just hit the rail right into the 3/4, but for those times you're not, just throw a little bit of chipstone under it, give it to height.
Got the blades.
Benny, you open up the pavers, dude?
Yep.
Hopefully they don't fall down the hill. So the pavers we're using are manufactured by Techo Bloc. The style is called Blue 60, and slate means it's textured, it's not smooth. The color tone is Champlain Grey, and one pallet has 117 square feet, and it weighs about 3,148 pounds. It's heavy. It's heavy. And this grade change is wild over here, so shout out to the delivery guy from Kamasi that brought these pallets up and put them in place, dude. That was a huge lifesaver, dude.
Huge.
Because if he didn't do that for us, which he didn't have to, a lot of delivery guys will tell you that too. They're not going to drive over somebody's front lawn like that no matter what. But he sent it up the hill and put them in place. And if he didn't, we'd have been breaking the pallets down and bringing them up little by little with the MT100. So, huge lifesaver. Let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
So now that we got our screed rails where they need to be, we're going to be roughly spreading out our chipstone. We do that just with our shovels and rakes. Get it close, and then we're going to use our 8-foot screed level. There's all sorts of different things you can use in this situation. The only thing I don't recommend is that you use a piece of lumber. Don't use 2x4. You know just by going to the store how uneven those things are. You want some kind of nice fabricated screed, something aluminum or metal, a nice straight edge to pull off of. If you don't have anything this long, a 6-foot level will be fine. If you're only doing a patio, small patio for yourself, you can use a 6-foot level and just set the pipes a little closer. This 8-foot screed works out great when you're working it with just one person. 10-foot is a little too long. It gets pretty heavy, but a 6-foot just doesn't do enough area all at once. So that 8 is just that happy medium. And it's just like you see people that screed concrete. You pull it back a little bit, and once you start to get a lot in front of the screed, you grab a rake or some other kind of tool and pull everything back some more so you can do a little bit more screeding. So I get comments quite often about whether or not we compact this chipstone. We don't. We screed it loosely, lay our pavers on it, and you're going to see as we're laying the pavers later in this video that we're using our dead blow hammers and setting them. So that'll compact the pavers into the chipstone. And we also compact the pavers when we install the polymeric sand at the end of the installation. So those are the two times that the chipstone actually gets compacted, but you don't compact it before you lay the pavers.
Lee ant whistle?
bud.
Yep.
Is that a victory cigarette?
Yep.
You proud of yourself for screeding that?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, dude.
It's no joke with screeding stone 8 feet.
No way.
My arms are tired.
That would have been 3 sections with a 6-foot level, dude.
Yep. A lot of checking your pipes.
Mm-hmm. The 8-foot screed's good. If you went up to 10-foot, dude, that'd be tough to handle with one person, bro.
It would be.
That's that money, like that sweet money Mac.
Mm-hmm.
8 feet. Probably won't need this entire yard of chipstone, but at least a couple more buckets. I'm gonna back the truck up so we don't make another mess. Once you get to the end of that pipe, you're just gonna have to pull the pipe down a little bit. Time to square it up, Ben. Yeah. Well, this needs to go down here. I'll go this way. So these pins that we're about to hook up, we put 3 of them in during our excavation, and we got them really close to square. But they're a foot further out on each side of the excavation because I knew that we were going to be lifting it up a lot. So we went more than our typical 6 to 8 inches. we went 12 inches further on every side of the patio. So we're gonna set this up and get a rough square line set up, and then we're gonna really get it square after that.
Is it on the outside?
Inside. A corner steak, Ben. It's a corner steak. And because this isn't going to be adjoining any kind of structure, we don't have to square it off per se with any structure. We're just going to kind of go off of that spray paint line, and then this is going to be our baseline for squaring everything up. Once this is set, we're going to be able to set another string over to the left of Benny and square that string up with this line, and then we're going to start laying pavers in that corner and work our way out. Benny, you getting excited?
Kidding me? Stand still.
Oh my gosh. So now we're going to transfer over to this line here. Do a couple double wraps there just to make it tight. Hey bud, let's set this line to a couple pavers. This is just to get the height. You want it just higher than that paver, bro. Like an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch higher. There it is. That's our first guideline. Here's a hammer. Here's a stake, dude. Okay, you know how to use those?
Hammer and stake.
I'm gonna get it square. So this is our guideline here. We want that to be the long end of the square. So that's lined up perfectly with that back line. Benny, you gotta go left, or you're right.
Right.
Yep. A little more. Okay, hold on 1 second. That looks really good, dude. Hold on a minute. Just hold it steady. Dude, you get the stillest hands in this trade, bro. Should have been a doctor. You want to grab another paver? We'll set this one to the height too. Just a touch. Yeah. All right, let me check the square one more time. That's lined up really nice. That looks money. So this string is set to about a 1/4 inch higher than the pavers, and it's perfectly squared up. We're gonna be able to lay our border pavers out both ways and kind of go out like a V and just keep working our way towards the house. Benny, let's rip it, dude. So you may be wondering on the sides why we're starting so far inside where we screeded, and it's because of the grade change. There's about a foot of grade change on the left side of these pavers, and we're trying to stay as far inside of the excavation as possible because we still have to put about 4 to 6 inches wide of concrete around the edges, and we don't want to be putting that concrete on an unstable surface. So the closer you get to those edges of the excavation, the less stable it's going to be. So we don't want these pavers to ever move. We're going to keep them a foot inside the excavation, as you've seen us set up the lines. Update time. We got some patio laid. The sprinklers are on. I'm glad we're not polymeric sanding. Dude, that would be horrible.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare for sure. Benny, I still love these pavers, dude.
yeah, they're nice pavers. They're definitely bigger. Which is also nice too.
Yeah, they lay out quick. Man. We still might only be halfway, dude. Maybe a little bit more, but like it fans out, so it's still a wider area.
But we might be close too because we're still a foot in.
Yeah. But hey man, it's going pretty smooth, huh?
I think so.
Like 75 degrees today. How you feeling?
Feel alright.
Feel alright?
Yeah. Even with the sun beaming on us.
Yep.
Shade. Feel alright.
I'd love to get into that bulldozer and just drive it around, Benny. But I don't know how to.
Figure it out.
Never really did like the big sight machine work, like bulldozers and big loaders or anything like that, but a lot of skid steers, mini excavators. If I went into a big size excavator, I would know what I'm doing with that, but not like a bulldozer or anything. I just never really had the time in one of them. This is looking good. Our goal tonight is to get this all laid out to where we can make the cuts for tomorrow. So it's about 3:30 right now. We're gonna try to put in another couple hours because it's go time season, Benny. It's work, 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 work. All right, we made a little bit more progress. Getting a bunch of pavers stacked up, and it's time to call out Techo Bloc a little bit. Right? Jeez. So we pull off, like I've mentioned before, one layer from each pallet you're working with at a time. So you bring them down at the same height, and that's how you mix it in. The variances between the batches, that's how you mix it in really good. Techo Bloc's pretty good with their batches, but you can still see a difference sometimes.
No, you totally can. Some are darker, some are lighter.
But also, what I'm talking about is that you guys know how I am with my four-ways in these patios. So if you're not familiar with my channel, four-way is when four pavers meet at a corner and it looks like a plus sign. When you're laying out a three-piece pattern paver design like we are here, that's something you never want to do. You don't want to lay pavers to where the four corners of the pavers meet each other, forming that plus sign. It just really sticks out, and it's not what you want to see in a randomly laid pattern. And when a manufacturer gives you an abundance of squares in your three-piece design or a three-piece pattern, it kind of puts you in a spot where you have to put four-ways almost to use the squares. So it takes some time to finagle everything around and make it work. Whereas if you had another big rectangle or a few more smalls, I think in this situation you need another big rectangle.
Smalls wouldn't be too bad though.
Yeah. But look at the piles, bro. Mm-hmm. We both just pulled off, I think, 2 layers, right? And
get rid of a couple squares. Definitely need more big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. You need the more big because you got 3 right there. No, 2 and 3. So that's 5 large rectangles. You got a good amount of smalls. What you need is less squares, bro.
Yeah.
Squares, smalls, large rectangles. That's the mix you got. Like, that's not us pulling from different layers or anything. Those are even layers right there. So many squares, dude. So many. And that's why you see so many four-ways in patios, because the manufacturers just don't divvy it up right. Techo Bloc, if you're watching, you need to figure out a way to throw another large rectangle and maybe another small rectangle. That's what it is right there. 2 squares. Mm-hmm. Take 2 squares out, put a large rectangle and a small rectangle in. You just evened everything out really good. Real good. There's literally what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 squares and 5 large rectangles. Whoa.
That's a lot.
Come on, help us out, Techo. Blue 60. Give us another large rectangle and small rectangle, and everything will be money. So I would say 80 to 85% of the patios and walkways I lay, I use some kind of 3-piece pattern. Doesn't matter the manufacturer. There's a small rectangle, a square, and a large rectangle. The sizes can vary, but it's just a 3-piece pattern. And to lay it randomly, there's a few things we look out for, and one of them being those 4-ways I was mentioning. A 4-way can really take away from the look of a randomly laid patio. The other thing you want to look out for is long joint lines. With big pavers like this, the Techo Bloc Blue 60, we don't want to go more than 4 or 5 pavers. 5 pavers I'd say is the max. 6 or more pavers is a very long joint line, and you want to be able to split that up. So you got to use these pieces in kind of strategic ways. There's really no random pattern to follow. You just have to lay it out using the pieces they give you, watching out for those really important things, the long joint lines, the 4-ways. And another very important thing is to mix in the different pallets. Like here on this job, we're pulling from 3 pallets, and you have to pull from each one layer at a time so that the color all fades in and the differences between the batches are not noticeable. So watching out for those few things will give you a nice randomly laid patio or walkway, whatever your project is. It's a patio, dude. I like it. You know what I mean? I kind of like it a lot. Yesterday, we still weren't to our grade of our base stone. We got it to grade, compacted, screeded this whole area, and laid everything. This is 3 pallets of 117 square feet each. So what's that? A little less than 360. Probably about 340 something, I think.
Yeah.
Plus the border, so over 350 square feet of pavers laid yesterday, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job.
Chipstone screeded.
Yep. Yeah, 3.5 yards of chipstone screeded. Jeez. 3 yards of base stone still had to get spread out. We got a lot done yesterday. We're looking good. We gotta cut this line. So that was how we screed, square, and lay a paver patio. The next thing we have to do is cut this line so we can install the border brick, and then we have to install our concrete edging. But all of that is going to be in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for a lot more content like this. And you guys know the deal. Until the next video, God bless. Peace.